Hello everybody, this is the Lamley Saturday Showcase. We're going to find a fork in the road in this video and go in two different directions. We're not just going to pick one. You are looking at 3 of the newest Miho Exclusives. That's the logo you're looking at. Miho Exclusives, done by M&J Toys. Miho Exclusive doesn't make specific models. They don't make them, but they contract with companies like Auto World and Johnny Lightning, both of Round 2. And have these special editions made, and then they distribute them to their hobby dealers, not at retail stores, just hobby dealers. And that's how you can get these. And I'm featuring them today. Miho Exclusives sent these 3 to me. Surplus Goodies is one of my sponsors, one of Lamley's sponsors, so I'm going to give you a link to them. But other hobby dealers as well sell these. You can go to Miho's website and find out, or just go to Surplus Goodies, or go to eBay. You can find many places to get these. All right. Then we're going to go, and because there's always a featured portion, we're going to open these up. We're going to look at other Auto World GT40s, and then we're going to look at other Golf GT40s, not Golf GT40s. That'd be boring. All right. What are we looking at? I mentioned what Miho Exclusives are. Auto World has done the GT40. We have seen several, as you saw right there, Golf colored GT40s by Auto World, Golf styled, Golf inspired. But this is the first Golf licensed GT40 by Auto World, exclusively as a Miho exclusive, 3600 done. That's it. There's also an Ultra Red, which is the chase version. We can get into that in a little bit. You can see Golf on the art, and you can see Golf on the car. We'll when we open this up, we'll be able to see that better. Go ahead and freeze that if you want to read that, but speaks to the GT40 done by Auto World, which has been very, very popular. So that's the Auto World. We've done other Auto World Miho exclusives. This, new for 2017, is the Toyota Landcruiser by Johnny Lightning. There's a picture in case you need it. There's some information in case you need it. There's what color it is, in case you want to know. And there's the model, which you definitely want. Check that out. Information, mjzinc.com, that's how you can find it. Information about the Collector Club. Very cool model. In gray, we'll open that up. And this one in aqua with the very appropriate white rims. I think all the rest of the artwork is the same. I think this casting, I could be wrong, but I think this casting is debuting as a Miho exclusive, which is very, very cool. All right. I'm going to break away because you don't want to see me opening these up with scissors and this and that. I'll mess up. I'll drop it. It'll scrape. We'll get all... So I'm going to go ahead and move away, and then just going to be this quick cut, and they'll be all open. Watch this magic. Ta-da! All 3 opened up through the magic of editing. Isn't that awesome? We have the GT40. We'll get into that. I'm using my Tomica Limited Vintage truck or car carrier to house these. There's your first Landcruiser from Johnny Lightning, all Miho exclusives, and then this one, which I'm just in love with. All right, I'm going to cut away again. We're going to walk through a whole heck of a lot of models. Okay, these will definitely be going into the photography studio because we need to take pictures of these beauties. This is the first Landcruiser from Johnny Lightning, Miho exclusive, in black. Just take a look at all the detail. You've got rear detailing license plate, spare tire on the back, ridiculously cool black rims. Of course, that front iconic grille of the Landcruiser. I want to look. The tires say BF Goodrich, right? Rear license, rock and roll. And then, of course, I don't want to say of course, but in case you were wondering, the engine does, or the hood does open. I mean, how cool is that? This is a no-brainer, guys. You just go get it. You will not regret it. If you're a Landcruiser fan, it's a no-brainer. I could have gone the route of the Landcruisers today and shown like the Matchbox Landcruiser, which is a great one. I think I've done that one before. Or I have some Tomica Limited Vintage Landcruisers. A couple others. Here is the aqua color. You can see the hood does open there. There you go. thing wants to go the other way. White rims work really well. Like I said, Miho didn't send me all four. They sent me these two. That's a perfect representation. I'll be happy with these two because I think they one looks very much era appropriate. The other one a little bit more modified in the gray and the black, but they're just both badass. And that's what you got to use to describe them. So these are the two Landcruisers. Use that Surplus Goodies link, or find them elsewhere. Just find them. You want them. All right. I said that we had the Golf GT40. This is the first Auto World GT40 to go in full Golf livery. I'm going to say golf, goat. I don't know everything else, but the word golf. Orange and light blue is the iconic color, but now this one has the actual logo on it. All the deco from the classic GT40 race car from the 60s. This is a 1965 GT40. You want to walk through this casting real quick, and then we'll go through all the golf. All right, let's do that. Finishing off with that one. All right, this model was done. Now, Auto World, I've showcased them quite a bit before. They are true to scale. So the GT40, as they recreate it, will look like this, the real one, compared to, say, the big wagons they do or the other muscle cars they do. Everything is to scale, 1/64. So this one is a very small, probably their smallest casting, I would think. They can tell me that later. This was the first one done in red. They always do two colors and then typically an ultra red chase. I'll get to that ultra red chase. So these were the first two colors that when it debuted, one in red, one in blue. This has been about a good three or more years ago. I can't remember exactly how many years. But red and blue, you can see the headlights are a separate piece. All the detail, the rims are clean. Tires have that cool kind of blue line. Blue line tires, call them what you want. They look really, really cool. Number 72 in red, number 72 in blue. And then there's an ultra red. The ultra red will always be in this candy apple color. They'll find other little details to differentiate one from the other over eras and batches. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like sometimes the Ultra Reds have white stripes. Well, sometimes they have white bases or a white interior, just depending. Auto World finds creative ways to help you know what... it doesn't really matter on the GT40 because there's always different decos and racing decos, but on other cars, sometimes it's hard to tell the Ultra Red from a blue car, from a blue Challenger, for example, in 2015, and then a red Challenger or a black Challenger, and they did an Ultra Red from 2017. Does that make sense? So they'll find ways for you to differentiate that, but this is the Ultra Red from that era. There was also an Ultra Raw. Remember that wagon I dropped famously a few weeks ago, a couple months ago? They did an Ultra Raw of that particular GT40. I don't have it. It's kind of cost a cajillion dollars to find it. I haven't seen it for a while, but there's a guy who actually opened it. If you go to lamleygroup.com and search Auto World GT40, you'll see I documented that years ago. All right, so after several years, all of a sudden the GT40 was back in early 2017. This was the first edition in Golf. You can notice there's no Golf-inspired deco, number 7, but no Golf logo on this, just the colors and the race style, the orange rims. That was the first one. Like I said, there's always two colors. So they went not only just two colors, but two styles. So this was another version of the GT40 we've seen before. Inspired, we'll call it. White with the blue middle stripe and side stripe. And then I love how they did the rims here. I like the orange rims in the other one, but I like this one in black even better. Chrome lipped. And then they did an Ultra Red, and this time they did the Ultra Red based on the Golf, so you have this ridiculous, it is ridiculous. It's cool, it's a chase color. Chase car can be whatever it wants, but there was what it looked like, right, the blue, but then instead of the blue, they went with the crazy red, right? So it just looks out of control with the red and the orange. Dog saying hi. I'm trying to see if they did the red base. Not on this one, but I think they did it later. So that is the Ultra Red. So we've missed the Ultra Raw. We're missing the Ultra Red. Then after that was available at retail. Then a little bit later, they did these hobby exclusives, not MiJo exclusives, hobby exclusives, only that Auto World sent directly to hobby stores. Again, Golf inspired. This time, no racing No racing numbers or roundels on it. Just plain blue with a orange stripe. Orange rims are back. Looking pretty, I mean, as clean can be, right? But remember, they did the white one with the numbers on it, with the racing numbers on it. This time they go black with gray stripe and no numbers. This one was super clean. Love this one in black. I hope you're just looking at these just kind of with your mouth wide open, because these are beautiful. Here's your ultra red from that particular set. And they did this one instead of off the Gulf, they did it off of the black one. You can see it's red with the gray stripes. Now this one just looks like, it doesn't look as ridiculous as the other one. This one just looks cool, like it's almost a third version, but it's based on that black one. Cool, right? Okay, still more before we get to the Gulf. MiJo Exclusives did their own. So, you saw the first one with the number 7 and the roundel, the second one with no number 7, no roundel. Now here's one with just a roundel. The orange wheels are a little bit different, and MiJo loves to do things their own way. So there's the orange wheel on the original retail release. You can see they're brighter with no chrome. See, there's chrome on this one. This one just has the, it's all orange with Goodyear tires. So that is new. And then, of course, the blank roundel. This one was my favorite of those three, actually. And I think even with the Gulf Deco, this one is still my favorite. I just like how clean it is, and I like the bright orange rims. But here's my favorite GT40 done by Auto World. That black one they did, now you see it with the double stripe. Notice, instead of the single stripe. You see it with the number 2 instead of no deco. You see it with the, what would you call those, gold or not really copper rims instead of the black rims. And then you see it with the Goodyear tires. Crazy, beautiful model. This is my favorite GT40 by Auto World by a mile. What's funny is I even, just as a little side note, I have another version of this same model by Kyosho. Notice Kyosho's is just a little different with the white stripe instead of the gray. A little more detailed, but that's Japanese Kyosho, and that's different than the Auto World. But I love the Auto World. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so there was that one. And then you want to know what they used as the Ultra Red. Well, considering how tight that black one is and how pretty it was, of course, they did it this one. But they did another Ultra Red on the Gulf with the blank roundel. I just didn't get it. I didn't like it. Now, if I ran across it, if it happened to hop into my lap, I'll keep it. Notice the front stripe goes all the way down the grill. Isn't that cool? So that is the Ultra Red. I think this one actually has a red base. Yeah, so that's how they differentiate it too. I mean, obviously there's other details there that are there, but the Ultra Red is gorgeous. This one I actually bought from SURPLUSgoodies, I remember. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's the couple that I don't have, the one Ultra Red from the Gulf and then the Ultra Raw, so that was 14. This is the 15th GT40 that Auto World has done. It's the MiJo exclusive, and now it's really nice to kind of complete that whole line of Gulf cars with this one with the Gulf logo on it and all of the racing deco. Just perfect. This one doesn't have the bright orange, but it does have the Goodyear tires and then the yellow details there, right? Okay, I have other Gulf GT40s. We'll walk through these real quickly. Now, I mentioned that Kyosho. Here's Kyosho's take on the Gulf GT40. That baby is slammed. But it's supposed to be. Just a different take on the GT40, a slightly different model. The GT40s were always a little bit different. This one looks a little longer. So that's one I have from Kyosho. I've had that one for a while. How about Hot Wheels? This is their GT40. This is from the RLC Gulf series, so they did it in Spectre Flame Blue with orange deco. This one is a number 6. Note the similarities. Yep. Very, very similar. Not exact, but very, very similar. Orange rims, that same look of the tires, except this one is in Spectre Flame Blue. Pretty, right? Yep. So I have that one. That's not a casting I've always been too fond of from Hot Wheels. It's not bad, but I never collected it. They also did the GT race car, right? The GT LM, or they called it the GT Race. I can't remember what they did. In a Golf Deco. This was from maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It's got a couple of chips on the front. Who cares, though? And then they did it as a Zamac. So not necessarily the colors, but consider it like the Ultra Red, right? Just a different take, but it still has all the Golf livery on it. And it looks cool. Raw. We walked through that one when we did the Golf. Okay, how about Matchbox? Remember, we just very recently did this one. This is Matchbox's GT40. This is released in the Global Travelers, right? Series. Orange rims, blue Golf Deco. From front to back, side to side. Looks really cool. Number 65 logo there on the back for their 65th anniversary. So that one is really cool. And then they have the more current, not the most current GT, but the 2005 Ford GT. They did a Golf-inspired deco in the mainline. So this one was blue, number 4, with the orange trim. There's the Ford logo right on the front. So this is the more modern Ford GT before the current Ford GT. And just for kicks, notice this one has the Ford logo on the front, and there's also an error of one that just doesn't have it, or a variation. I don't know what you'd call it, but there you go. All right, should we go back to the original? There it is. That's your Saturday showcase. That's a whole lot of Golf with some Landcruisers mixed in. I went in a billion different directions, but I want to make sure that you guys have a chance to go out and find these. They're totally worth it. You'll be happy you have them. 164 goodness to be sure. Talk to you later. Bye!